happened on November 8th. The first game is the New York Knicks beating the Philadelphia Sixers. It was a back-to-back for the Knicks and Sixers. Everybody was out, and key players will continue to be out in the next week or two. RJ played 40 minutes. His minutes is super high, and the efficiency still didn't worry, but he did grab 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and a block. So if you don't care about the efficiencies, I think he could be rostered. Julius Randle, huge game, 31. And I think, if you can get a top 20 guy back, Julius Randle for Jason Tatum, I would do it. I think last year, actually, I was waiting for Julius Randle to cool down all season because I think he's going to run out of gas. He never did. This year, he's playing huge minutes every single game. I don't think this is sustainable, to be honest. Nerlens Noel played 12 minutes. Mitchell Robinson was out. Nerlens Noel played 12 minutes, and he got hurt as well. So, Taj Gibson actually could be rostered in category leagues. Everywhere pretty much. If Nerlens Noel missed games, Taj Gibson going to be getting 30-plus minutes. Evan Fournier, 11 points, 6 rebounds. Evan Fournier is a guy that is going to be around 100, 90, 100. Every once in a while, he will have those good games. But more often than not, it's very, very average. So I look to trade him high, every time he goes off. Same thing with Kemba Walker. He's going to be around that 100, And the playing time for both of those guys are not that high. And, they took 8 and 9 shots. Randle and RJ. It's probably not the best way to go, have those two guys take these many shots. But, they're the number 1 and number 2 guy. And then for Kemba, you also get Derrick Rose coming off the bench. If D-Rose is rolling, or Alec Burks is rolling, or Emmanuel Quickly is rolling, Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker could lose minutes on that night. It's not guaranteed they play 30 minutes a night. So, for those two guys, I really look to trade them, if they're on a hot streak. It's weird because Tom Thibodeau is the guy that usually just plays starters to death. But, he's keeping those two guys minutes down, Kemba and Evan Fournier. Because the other guards coming off the bench are good. Derrick Rose is very good in 20 to 25 minutes. Emmanuel Quickly, obviously they want to develop him a little bit, and he's also pretty decent. Alec Burks, we know, on the Warriors a couple years ago, he was a very good fantasy player as well. For the Philadelphia Sixers, Danny Green, I think we got to pick him up in category leagues, especially the threes, the defensive stats, and in the short term he should. Although he only played 30 minutes, so he just came back from an injury, so the minutes, they try to keep his minutes low, but still, regardless, 30 minutes, three blocks and 2 steals is very good, and 2 threes. Furkan Korkmaz in the short term, we got to stream him. Everybody. Andre Drummond is a must roster. I would look to trade him. Once Embiid comes back, he's not going to have much value. Seth Curry, same thing, played 40 minutes. Tyrese Maxey played 40 minutes. They have a back-to-back tonight, so everybody needs to be rostered at the moment for the Philadelphia Sixers. Drummond obviously is the best option out there. Tyrese Maxey, I think, remains to be a sell high. He played 40 minutes. He took 19 shots this game and only hit 6. So he hasn't had a game this year where he exploded. I don't remember. I haven't noticed it. But if he does, I really do trade, especially with now Joel Embiid is out, he's gonna get some extra usage. And Andre Drummond obviously a sell high, and Shake Milton, Georges Niang, all those guys need to be rostered in the short term. At least stream them for sure. For the next game, the Brooklyn Nets got destroyed by the Bulls. 35 minutes for KD, 38 points, just super good. But again, KD, he doesn't really offer you that many defensive stats, so I guess that's one weakness he has. I guess he gets decent blocks. Okay. So the only thing KD doesn't have really is the steals. Everything else is great. And being fairly healthy, played the back-to-back. I think it was a back-to-back for Brooklyn yesterday. He played in it. So he should have a great year. Bruce Brown, he's been getting consistent 30 minutes. We could at least stream him. But with the production is very up and down. Had 2 blocks and was the minus 28, the worst on the team. Blake Griffin, 21 minutes. We're not interested. And Patty Mills and Joe Harris, I really wouldn't touch them unless I want threes or they have a back-to-back. James Harden, I still think that he's a buy low. It's not like he's hurt or anything. He went to the free throw, obviously a concern. He's not getting to the line as much because of the rule change, but he's shooting. First of all, this game he only took 11 shots. The Harden this just doesn't look aggressive at all. I don't know what's going on. Still the 20th ranked player in 9 category leagues, while only average 80. Yeah, he's shooting 39%. Last year on the Nets, he was shooting 46, 47. That's really the area I would expect him to be, 46, 47%. And he's only taking 13.9 field goal attempts. For a guy like Harden, only 14 field goal, that's super low. I would expect with the Kyrie out, I expect at least 18, 19. So a couple of factors. He's not hitting his shot and he's being a bit passive. So I still think I still look at him as a top 5 guy. But right now maybe top 7, top 8. But it should be a buy low in my opinion. Let's look at the Bulls. Everybody play well. I mean, Derozan, still think he's a sell high, but it looks like this season at least, him and Zach LaVine, they're gonna be the number 1 and clear number 1, number 2 option on this team, right? It's Vucevic kind of taking a seat back offensively, but Vucevic should be fine. I still look at Vucevic as a top 20 guy because Vucevic should still be able to grab rebound, get assist, get even more open shots, even, still get steals and blocks. So I think Vucevic should be fine. Like, he might not score 20 points, but 17, 18 is not that far off. But every other category, like his efficiency should probably improve. So I was still a buy low on Vuce. He's also been pretty poor. This game, 1 steal, 3 blocks, 13 rebounds, 5 assists is good. But again, still struggle with his shot, only just 11 points. DeMar DeRozan, great. He might be a top 35 guy this year. So far, he's averaging 27. I mean, a lot of it is not sustainable, 27 points. But 23 points, it's actually possible for DeRozan this year. 50% from the field is a bit too high. 86% free throw on 7.9%, 7.9 times to the free throw line. So that's really helping his value. And this year, because of the rule change, a lot of the guys, they're not getting to the line as often. So DeRozan, the free throw actually going to have help his rankings a bit more because just a larger impact compared to relatively to the league. So DeRozan could be a top 35 guy this year. I wouldn't be surprised. And Zach LaVine, 24 points is good. He's in that top 20 range. It's about can he bring the defensive stat? A steal and a block here is good. But if he's going to average 0.5 steals, if you tell me he's going to average 0.5 steals, he might just be a top 30 guy. So right now he's shooting 90% from the free throw, so that's going to fall off a little bit. But overall, the peripheral stats for Zach LaVine has been disappointing this season. He's still scoring the points, 26 points. Yeah, he could score 25, 26. 2.1 threes is he could do more than that. And he improved his turnovers. This game, just 1 turnover. So that's the area he improved. He was averaging 4 turnovers over the years. With Lonzo Ball, now he doesn't have to handle the ball much, but obviously fewer assists. Lonzo Ball, 11, an average game. For Lonzo, it's about the defensive stats. Can he average 1.5? I think he could average 1.5 steals and 0.8, 0.9 blocks. He should be solid. Alex Caruso, 24 minutes. He's just a steal and assist streamer. Maybe a must roster if you need those 2 categories, but this game he only got 24 minutes. So I don't think he's a must roster, but it's hard to find. You can find a lot of steals on the waiver wire, but hard to find assists, so you could roster him. Let's look at the next game. The Grizzlies beating to the Timberwolves. So this game went to overtime. Just some huge minutes. Anthony Edwards, I'm not too worried. He's young, played 43 minutes, should be okay. Anthony Edwards should be a top 35, top 30, 35, potentially if he can get more defensive stats. So far this season, he is 55th. 23 points sounds about right. But he's struggling from the field, 40% and 77% from the free throw line. So if that 40% went up to 44, he could average 25. That would push him to. He's already getting a plenty of defensive stats. Like 1.6 steals is I'm okay with that. 0.6 blocks, yes. So, he's also averaging 3 turnovers. I think he has the potential to be a top 35 guy. But this is probably around the area where he is. Jaden McDaniels, wow. 31 minutes. Still in the blocks. I mean, the minutes is up and down for the Timberwolves power forwards. Vanderbilt comes in, play 25 minutes. This game, he only played 11. None of them is a must roster. You could stream them. Hope they play 35 minutes that day. Carl Anthony Towns, a huge game. Not really much to talk about. Should be a top 5 guy. Doesn't hurt you anywhere. Maybe he doesn't get that many steals, but everything else is great. And he's getting a lot of assists for his standards as well. For D'Angelo Russell, great. I think it's probably a sell high. D'Lo is a top 100 guy to me. Like, I could see him average close to 18 points. Because Anthony Edwards is there. I don't think he's gonna, he's the third option on this team, and he's gonna make some threes, and that's about it. I mean, some assists as well, but mainly his efficiency is really, really bad. And if your team is punting a few efficiency categories, then he's fine to hold. If you care about the efficiency, he literally hurts you in all 3 categories. But this game obviously great. I would sell him high. Get top 50 guy back. Because he could go on a hot stretch. Score 30 points a game for 2 weeks, let's say. You could try to sell him for a top 40, 50 guy. Patrick Beverley, interestingly, played 30 minutes. In overtime, we could think about streaming him, and we could monitor his minutes. If the guy gets 30 minutes, we could think about rostering him. But Patrick Beverley does a bit everything. Great production across the board. For the Grizzlies, Desmond Bane and DeAnthony Melton, we should really try to sell them, do a 2-for-1s. If not, just hold. There's a small chance that Dillon Brooks coming back. Maybe Anthony Melton still get 30 minutes. Maybe not. I don't think so. I think both of them gonna suffer. Grizzlies, they're known to play every guy 20 minutes, and Dillon Brooks is a guy that gets consistent over 30 minutes. So let's say you take 10 minutes away from Desmond Bane, 10 minutes away from DeAnthony, then everybody just play 20 minutes. So Desmond Bane, great game. Not much to talk about. Jerry Jackson had 6 fouls again. I mean, the guy just cannot stop fouling. He was in foul trouble more than 50% of his games. So he really needs to work on that. If he's playing, that's great. Like 1 steal, 3 blocks, 8 rebounds, 14 points, 2 threes. Like, this stat line is good. But just need to stay on the court. Don't commit that many fouls. Steven Adams, just the 20 minutes. If you need rebounds, you could have him. Otherwise, DeAnthony Melton, great game. I just talked about him and Desmond Bane. Look to trade them. See if you can get any value. 2-for-1s. Ja Morant, huge game. Ja Morant is young, so I think if he doesn't get hurt, he could keep it going. Last year, the first week he popped off and then he hurt his ankle, and he came back, was never the same. This year he's going hard. I just hope he can stay healthy. And I think unless unlike the Pacer guys or Julius Randle, you could play him high minutes and he could go hard every day. And by the end of the season, every game, he could still put up some monster lines. So this is great for Ja Morant, and his ranking should be pretty good. He, to be honest, I underrated him a little bit coming to the draft. Like, he's a guy that I probably won't take in the top 40. He could, in 9 category leagues, he's like the 42nd ranked player, because he's averaging 4.1 turnovers. If he ignored the turnovers, he's top 25 in that range. So really, really good. From Ja Morant this year. 26 points, I don't know that's sustainable. 1 point, he really improved his steal numbers, 1.6 steals. 1.8 threes is also nice. Like, that's more than what he was hitting last year. Free throws, if he get up to 80 and cut down the turnovers a little bit, could be a top 35, top 30. Kyle Anderson played 28. A nice streamer. The thing with some of the Grizzlies guys, like Kyle Anderson can play 28, and then Jerry Jackson Jr. is always in foul trouble. But if he's not, like, he might just get 20, 25, 22. Maybe not even. Let's look at the next game. The New Orleans Pelicans losing to the Mavs. Bad loss. Pelicans, everybody's out. Brandon Ingram is out. Zion is going to come back eventually. Valanciunas, I still think he's a sell high. He could end up being a top 25, 30 player, even when everybody comes back. So if you can get any top 20 or 30 value back, I would just keep it. Good game, 34 more minutes. Just give it the minutes. Super consistent. Nikhil Alexander-Walker, with everybody out, he took 20 shots. Didn't really do much. Bad efficient night and 2 for 11 from threes. I would buy low on him. I would do Kemba Walker for Nikhil Alexander-Walker. I would do that trade if Kemba scored 30 points. I just think Nikhil Alexander-Walker has a higher upside. He has higher minutes, and he can get more defensive stats. So I'll look to, obviously don't do that trade now because Kemba is playing really bad. Josh Hart, super high minutes. We could pick him up and see where things go. He played 37 minutes. Good value at the moment. Devontae Graham, 10 assists. If you're punting rebounds like the big man stats, Devontae Graham is perfect. You don't care about the rebounds, you don't care about the blocks, you don't care about the efficiency. He gave you 2 threes, 10 assists, a steal. 2 for 2 from the free throw line. So it's very if you I would look to unload Devontae Graham, or I would look to buy if I punting field goals and big man stats. For the Dallas Mavericks, just the easy win. Dorian Finney-Smith, we could stream him, and Kristaps Porzingis. As long as he's playing, we can't complain too much. 26 minutes. He's gonna miss out some back-to-backs, and who knows how many games he's gonna play the rest of the season. One way you could play this is if he plays really, really well, try to trade him for a top 30 guy. If not, just hold him. If nobody wants to give you top 30, 40 guy value back, you just hold him. Tim Hardaway Jr., 4 threes. He's a threes and point streamer. That's it. And Luka, 25 points. I mean, he hit a crazy game winner, not yesterday, but a couple of days ago versus the Celtics. This game, just easy game, 25 points. But Luka in fantasy is not great. Free throw remains to be still an issue, and his ranking is just not good. 77th ranked player in 9 category leagues, 25 points. That's fine. 8 rebounds, 6.7 assists. So he started off the season. Maybe he was tired because he played in the Olympics. Didn't really have any time off. Maybe he's a bit out of shape. I don't know. 25 points, 8 rebounds, 6.7 assists. I see all those 3 counting sets go up, to be honest. I could see him average 28 points. 9-10 rebounds and 8-9 assists. 0.9 steals, 0.6 blocks. Sounds about right. And 70% from the free throw line. It's bad for Luka, even his standard. And 4.4 turnovers, yeah, Luka is going to turn the ball over a lot. Jayla Bronson coming off the bench, I think he's a must roster due to his assist mainly. You just don't find that many guys off the waiver can give you 4.5 assists. He's averaging exactly like that. And the 0.7 steals is kind of bad. But if he can push up to 1.1, then easily he's a top 80, 90 guy. That makes him a must roster. Let's go to the next game. Oh boy, this game was wild. Denver Nuggets. The big news here is we'll talk about Jokic a little bit. Let's talk about the Heat. Jimmy Butler continues to be great. It's really, if Jimmy Butler can stay healthy, he should have a monster year. And this year he really changed. He's scoring a lot more. Last year I think he's averaging around 21, 22 points. Well, 3-4 points more this season. And I think it might be hurting Jimmy Butler's fantasy value, because if you're scoring that much, spending that much energy, you're not gonna get assists. You're not gonna get, okay, maybe rebound is gonna be around the same, but so far 6 rebounds is okay. I think he can do better than that. 5.5 assists, maybe that's where he is because Kyle Lowry is there. He won't be getting over 6 assists like he did last year. 2.1 steals, yes. 53% shooting is a bit too high, but either way, he should be a top, on a per game basis, top 10 player very comfortably. But the efficiency right now is a bit high. And he's going to the free throw line a lot, 8.8 times. So that's also very, very valuable. Bam is struggling at the moment. I would buy Bam low. Like, if I can get Valanciunas for Bam Adebayo, I think I do that trade pretty, I wouldn't think too much. struggled 10-10. I mean, it was against the Jokic, so had to spend a lot of effort guarding him. So, did not put up. It's a buy low in my opinion. I think on a per game basis, why he should be a top 20, top 25 guy pretty easily. And the defensive stats are not there yet. Duncan Robinson hit 4 threes. That's it. Kyle Lowry, ultimate buy low. Despite his horrible start, he is still ranked. Let's see. He's 83rd ranked after this game. So he was in the top 60s despite the horrible shooting. He's averaging just 10 points, 2 threes. So all those could go up. 5.2 rebound. That sounds about right. 7 assists. Yeah, it's mainly he's struggling with his shot. Once he finds his shot, he'll be averaging 15 points and 2.5 threes. And then the rest of the set could stay the same, and he will be a top 60 player. The assist, the 7.1 assist is really good. It's just so hard to find assists on the waiver wire. But if you're punting assists, try to trade him away. Tyler Hero played 30 minutes. The problem with Tyler Hero is just no defensive stats and inefficient. But usage wise, scoring wise, he could be average. He could average 20 points. And Markieff Morris, this is the big news here. He and Jokic had I don't know. It's not an altercation. He pushed Jokic first, and then when he turned around, Jokic came running over and kind of hurt Markieff Morris pretty badly. He pushed him pretty hard, and they brought out the stretchers. I don't know if he really needed the stretchers, but just one push, they brought out the stretchers. So this is pretty bad. Jokic's gonna get suspended. 100% gonna get suspended. We don't know how many games. It's a bad look on Jokic. Just bad look. And what's even worse is that Morris right now has a neck injury. So depending on the severity, we see NBA players shove other NBA players a lot, but usually it's in the front. Most of the you see the guy coming. This one Morris just didn't turn his back and didn't see it coming. So he might the injury might be pretty serious. So it's really bad for Jokic. Hopefully he doesn't. Well, not say hopefully, but if you own Jokic, you hope that he doesn't get suspended for too many games. We don't know. We don't know how NBA is gonna handle this. He was the league MVP last year, so I don't know how many. But this is really bad for Jokic. You don't want to have that. Once you have certain narratives written about you, it's hard to get it off you. But fantasy wise, great game. 25 points, 15 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 blocks. Struggle from the free throw line, but who cares? Great game. Jeff Green, I think, needs to be picked up. And Jokic is going to be out for the short term. So Aaron Gordon must roster. Will Barton must roster. Even Monty Morris probably must roster. All those guys are going to get a huge usage boost. I would potentially look to trade Will Barton for any top 50 value, if I can get any top 50 value back. Or do a package trade. In the short term, he's gonna be a monster, I think. Aaron Gordon, same thing. All those guys are going to get a few more shots. And guys coming off the bench like PJ Dozier, Jermichael Green, Bones Hyland, Austin Rivers. I mean, Austin Rivers probably not, but all the other guys, I look to stream them, see what their schedule look like, because they are going to get some opportunities to play some huge minutes with Jokic out. Let's look at the next game. This game, man, Warriors are so good. They're the best team in the NBA record-wise right now without Klay. So when Klay comes back, they're 9-1. Really good stuff for the Hawks. Hunter, Cam Reddish. We don't want to roster them. Cam Reddish was hot for like a few weeks. DeAndre Hunter was hot for 2 days, two games last week. Let's just drop them. John Collins, very empty. His field goal is good, but just the counting stats looks, every time I look over, just so super, he is still the 23rd ranked player. If we look at his counting stats, not the efficiency, 16 points, 9 rebounds, that's good, but that's like top 50, right? You would think that's top 50. 2 assists, that's nothing. 0.7 steals, that's low. 0.8 blocks for a big man. But if you look at his efficiency, he's shooting 61% from the field and 82% from the free throw line. So that's majority of his value coming from. I'm not too high. I just look at him as the top 40 because the counting stats really not there. Click Capella, just the 6 rebounds. What's going on with him this year? Buy low, just keep going lower because there's a chance that he doesn't play like he was last year this season. Not gonna be grabbing 15 rebounds a game, and that's the majority of his value. Rebounds, huge rebound blocks, and field goal. And he was 1 for 5. I don't know what's going on. Maybe he's not out of shape. Bogdanovic, 31 minutes. A good game, but he's one of those guys I think gonna be around that one. Bogdan. Yep. Right now he's ranked 122nd. I think he's in that 100 range. So if he start playing well, maybe I'll look to trade him. I'm not too high on him this year. And Trae Young, 28 points, 9 assists is still, great stuff from Trae. Just very, very consistent, giving you the points and the assist. For the Warriors, Curry, man, 50 points, 10 assists, 3 steals, and a block. I still think Jokic is going to be the number 1 guy. So if you want to, if the Jokic owners, let's say, are not happy with him getting suspended or that type of stuff, I would still trade Curry for Jokic. I think Jokic will be better than Curry. Curry, so far the first month, he's been super good. He is the number 1 ranked player after this. But I think Jokic is still slightly better, but they're very, very similar. He took 19 threes. That means just Atlanta Hawks doing a bad job. You letting Curry take 19 threes. Getting 19 threes off, that's just bad. 13 for 13, just a monster game. I don't know what else to say. Like Curry played 35 minutes, was a plus 31. The 30 minutes that he didn't play, that Jordan Poole played, look at the plus and minus. Jordan Poole played 32 minutes, was a minus 12. Steph Curry played 35 minutes, he was a plus 31. And nobody else was close. So there was a stretch of 5-6 minutes, Golden State Warriors just completely destroyed the Atlanta Hawks. Jordan Poole was pretty bad, plus minus wise, but 3 threes. He took 17 shots. I still think Clay coming back, Jordan Poole might get more open shots, but Clay's going to take some of the usage away, I think. But again, Clay coming back, he's going to miss a lot of games. And even the minutes for Clay, it won't be that high. He won't come and play 30 minutes. I don't think he ever will play 30 minutes this season. So maybe toward the end of the playoffs, he start playing 30 minutes. So Jordan Poole should still have, I'm trading it. After this game, where is Poole's rankings? He's 58th. I would trade it for any top 60 players. If I can get him from Evan Mobley, people probably won't do it. But if I can trade him for Buddy Hield, I would. But he's providing decent steals, so that's another thing. If he can average, if he can continue averaging 1.4 steals, then, because last year I think he doesn't really get any steals. This year 1.4, that's a big improvement. If he can sustain that, then he's a top 70 guy, 80 guy. Even when Clay comes back, there's a possibility. Because he hit a lot of threes, he could score a bunch, and good free throws. Draymond, 30 minutes. We don't expect Draymond to score points, but the rebound, the assist, the steals. Draymond really hasn't, I'm waiting for that breakout game. 5 steals and 5 blocks. I'm still waiting. The Hawks, usually, if you want to do that, it's against a team like the Atlanta Hawks. But okay, Andrew Wiggins, I think, to be honest, if you want to drop him, I totally understand. Just give you 15 points a night and then nothing else. But if you want to hold short, he even though this game he only get 26 minutes. And I don't know when Clay comes back, is Jordan Poole going to come off the bench? Or Andrew Wiggins' minutes is going to get impacted a little bit as well. I think that Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins' minutes is going to get impacted a little bit with Clay coming back. And guys like Damian Lee probably just don't get any minutes. And maybe Gary Payton II won't get minutes as well. So we'll see what happens. But that's probably like 2-3 months down the road. That's very far from now. The next game, the Phoenix Suns beating the Sacramento Kings. Mikal Bridges, finally. This is what we've been waiting for. 2 steals and 2 blocks. For the season, he's averaging 0.8 steals, but 67th ranked player. If he can get up to 1.4, he's comfortably a top 50 player in 9 category leagues. He doesn't hurt you anywhere, but good game from him. JaVale McGee, a must roster, must stream with Ayton out. Give the man 25 minutes, he blocked 3-4 shots. 7 rebounds, a steal, and 2 blocks for assists. Good game from him. And Jay Crowder, just a streamer. And Devin Booker. Look at the defensive stats. 18 points, 6 assists, 9 rebounds, and 2 steals. Nice all-around game from him. And Chris Paul, maybe a sell high. I don't know. This is just one game. Because Cameron Payne was out at the beginning of the season, so Chris Paul was playing some huge minutes. We know what Cameron Payne can do in the playoffs last year. So Monty Williams, trust Cameron Payne. There's no need to play Chris Paul 35 minutes. So what happens if Chris Paul just played 27 minutes moving forward? I mean, Chris Paul was a huge sell high anyways. He was like the 11th ranked player. He still is. He's a 10th ranked player. 13 points, 11.3 assists. That's not sustainable. Realistically, 8-9 assists, 2.3 steals is also too high. So if I own Chris Paul, this is a sell high window, I think. If I can get any top 15, 20 guy back. But we'll if you can get that value back, then, just fine, just hold him. Kaminsky, 10, Cameron Payne, just the 22 minutes, 24. Are they going to play Cameron Payne and Chris Paul together? I don't think that would work. He obviously has it going, so that impacted Chris Paul's minutes a little bit. For now, we don't want to roster him. Obviously, he's a huge steals and assist guy. But if Chris Paul is ever out, we have to pick up Cameron Payne. Very good fantasy asset. For the Kings, Harrison Barnes continues. At this point, I mean, if you cannot get any top 50, 40 guy back, then what the hell? Just hold him. Who knows? He might be a top 50 guy rest of the season. He went to the free throw line 11 times, 26 points, 6 rebounds, and a steal. Insane efficiency. Rashawn Holmes, just the 25 minutes, a bit overwhelmed. I mean, he got destroyed by I don't know who on the Suns. Maybe JaVale McGee. Bad field goal. He'll bounce back. He'll be better than this next game. And Buddy Hield, he started. Because what's his name was out. Shoot. Trying to think what's this guy's name. I have him on my team. Tyrese Halliburton, right. Tyrese Halliburton was out, so Buddy Hield started, but it didn't really make a difference. 14 points, 6. We still hold him, obviously. De'Aaron Fox, still very, very horrible efficiency-wise, from an efficiency perspective. But the 3 steals and 3 blocks are really nice. It's really needed for De'Aaron Fox owners. He's been struggling, And Davion Mitchell, with Tyrese Halliburton out, he get to play over 30 minutes. And the steals, you would think, watching highlights of him on YouTube, you would think he gets a lot of steals. He's on the perimeter. He's a very, very good defender. But he's not getting that many steals, to be honest, this season. So if he's not getting the steals, I don't know why we want to have him on the roster. Let's go to the last game of the night, the Charlotte Hornets. This game was wild, overtime. Charlotte Hornets are pretty good, so it's, I guess, impressive for Lakers to win with LeBron out, but they still got AD and Russ. For the Hornets, Gordon Hayward, I would look to trade Gordon Hayward if he has a good game or two. Any top 50 guy, I think he's probably in the top 70, 80 range because the emergence of Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges struggled finally. Finally, he struggled. Maybe his worst game of the, still the 14th ranked player. 19 points. And like I said, if you can get any top 30 guy back, I would still do it. 19 points, 2 steals. Still took 18 shots. But Terry Rozier took 22. So Mason Plumlee, we can still hold him if he punting free throws, especially. He had 10 rebounds and a block and 13 points. Good field goal, but bad free throw. Terry Rozier, this is a good sell high, I think. Any top 50 value back for Terry Rozier. I'm not too high on Rozier this year. He was a top 50 because he was shooting like 48% and then getting a bunch of steals. If any of those things don't happen, he's a top 70, 80 guy. And is he going to average over 20 points this season? Maybe not, because now you got LaMelo Ball, you got Miles Bridges. He's like the third option, maybe. Him and Gordon Hayward, I don't see them having a huge fantasy year. LaMelo Ball played 41 minutes is super high. That's great to see. 15 rebound, 11 assists, 25 points. And he hit threes. The only issue with him is the efficiency. I mean, he hit his free throw, like his field goal efficiency and turnover. I mean, he didn't even turn the ball over that much. He is the 7th ranked player while shooting 44%. 96% from the free throw line is high, but he's not turning the ball over at a crazy rate. Like, all his counting stats are sustainable. Everything is sustainable, and he's the 7th ranked player. I should have drafted this guy in the second round, but I didn't. Really, really good stuff from LaMelo Ball. Kelly Oubre Jr. is a drop, and Cody Martin is the same thing. You could stream in for some, defensive stats. For the LA Lakers, Anthony Davis. Ken Bazemore is a drop. Anthony Davis, wow. After this game, he is the 13th ranked player. If he has a few more games like this, he'll move into top 5. One major concern is his free throw. Again, 75%. If he's shooting 83% from the free throw line on 6 attempts, he's a top 5 guy already. I don't think the free throw is not going to get fixed. I still see him getting more steals though. He's only averaging 1 steal on the year. If let's say the free throw stay the same, if he can get 1.4 steals, that moves him in, close to top 8. Top 10 for sure, top 8, top 7. He's still a monster. It just, he gets hurt. It seems like he gets hurt a lot, but he always just gets back up. So, yeah, monster game from AD. And Russell Westbrook. I think if you are not punting 2 out of the 3 efficiency categories in 9-category league, I would look to trade Russell Westbrook. LeBron James is out, and LeBron, we don't know when he's going to be back, and I think LeBron went too hard in the first couple games. In a regular season, really, it's about preserving your body. I think LeBron needs to know that. I don't know. It's just the regular season. Like, take it easy. He was averaging 37. LeBron was averaging 37 minutes a night. So I think Russell Westbrook should have a pretty good year as long as LeBron is not, playing huge minutes or doesn't play every single game. Triple double here, 3 steals, good stuff, but 7 turnovers, 7 for 10 from the free throw line, 5 for 15 is not good. And Carmelo Anthony, look at that. I would pick up Carmelo Anthony everywhere. He is like a top 35 guy so far this season. And sure, like, he's shooting the ball really well at the moment. Man, he's 29th ranked player. 17.6 points. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends the year averaging 16 points, let's say, not 17, and 3 threes. That's all he does. Just catch and shoot threes. He took 10 threes today. So realistically, he could be making 3 threes, average 3 threes a game this season with 16 points. So that's like a mini version of Buddy Hield. Well, his ranking right now is better than Buddy Hield. And if he can just bring in 50% from the field is way too high. But if he can bring in, let's say, 0.9 steals and 0.7 blocks, those type of numbers, he could be a top 60 or 70 guy. There is a chance. So I would hold him and also sell high. Like, if people think he's a top 50 guy rest of the season, And that's it, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.